Hey, HappiDaze here. In today's video, we are doing my teams for this upcoming Treasure Map versus TM Ace. So we did the free-to-play team earlier, so guys, hopefully you saw that video, hopefully you liked it, but these are what my teams are going with. We tried to go for almost a 19 times multiplier, which is awesome. Get into the teams real quick. So for the intrusion battle here on stage 2, we're just going to go ahead and swap the Nami and Carrot and then use our special so we can go ahead and get full dex board of matching orbs, and then use the Garb special to help get rid of the increased defense. We don't have about any of the chain games because we have the Captain and Friend Captain Sabo, so that's nice. And then on stage 3, you'll basically use one of the Sabo specials, the Molde and Karatsu, and the Koala, and you're off to the races. You can use one of the Sabos on stage 2. On stage 2. So don't need to, but if you want to, you can do it just to do more damage there. So that's the intrusion battle. For the boss battle itself, again, it's pretty easy. For stage number 2, you have to deal with Fear, the Friend Captain Sabo and Captain Sabo. Have the potential Fear ability that takes care of that. You have to get the special bind, so that's what the Carrot and Nami unit will do. We'll be able to swap from Nami into Carrot, so we can get type advantage there, then use the special to get rid of the special bind. And then for the attack down, basically you can use one of our Sabos to get rid of that, and we'll be off to the races there for the fight number 2. On stage 3, you have to deal with the stupid gimmicks of basically the bind, the defense up, the rainbow shield. So Boa takes care of all 3 of those, which is awesome. The Garp unit there can help take care of the threshold on the final stage, and then pretty much you're good to go. Like I said, Koala is not really being used here except to just help boost some stats, and because she's a super high point booster. So not really needed for the stage, so it'll be pretty easy to get through the boss battle. Going into the actual mini-bosses here, so this team I am using a combination of the Celestial Dragons here. I didn't throw any supports on those. With the using 2 of the Saturn specials, I'll be able to basically trigger the ability to use the supers of both the Saturns as well as the Garlings. Again, the special bind gets taken care of by Garling, who can resist it himself, and use that as a special to get rid of it. And then for the Rainbow Shield, the Lin Lin here will help take care of that. For the Doffy fight, exact same as the free-to-play team. You just use 1 Mihawk special, 1 Boa special, and you're off to the races there. Nothing really special. For this team here, so we're swapping to the God Valley Rare Recruits. We have the Kuma and the Ginny as the captain, just because they have a little bit better stats. Again, you have to get through the block orbs, which is the annoying part of this. The G orbs, which is the annoying part of this. So just make sure when you're doing your order of specials, in order to get rid of the Despair, you can use the 2 Captain to get rid of the 12 turns of Despair. Makes it really easy to get through that. And then you can use Green Bowl to get matching slots, and basically just save the Ivankov special for last. That way you can make sure that you have the good slots in the middle position. You'll be able to just tap those 2 middle characters and easily get through that slot lock, or the barrier that they have there. For the final fight there versus Teach, again, this team hasn't changed from the free-to-play team. Just use 1 Luffy special, 1 Sanji special, and you're off to the races. So that being said, now that we've kind of looked at the teams themselves, let's actually get into the content, show you how it does. I probably am going to have to use a gem just because I only have 55 stamina, and typically because this is a super map, that means that I'm going to basically be hitting one of the move down slots that are kind of in the middle of the match there. But the positive side is that because we're in a bonus map, we're able to make sure that we get the invasion fight that's there. So let's go ahead and move one more time. We'll have to fight the invasion Lin. Oh, actually, maybe we won't have to use the anything there. We actually completely avoided the move down, which is kind of awesome. So let's go ahead and fight Lin Lin here. Again, we are using a Captain and Friend Captain Sabo here. Makes it a little bit easier to get through the content. So I'm going to go ahead and choose any one of the Sabos here. Shout out to, I believe it was Bellagio was the guy who took. Awesome Alliance member from TRS, so huge shout out to him. Thanks for providing a Sabo Friend Captain there. So stage 1, we don't have to do anything. We can literally just tap. Now the advantage here is we do actually have the ability to use the super type of the Molde Karatsu as a crewmate, so that is of course very awesome. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and swap the Nami Carrot, so we get the type advantage there. Use the special, as I mentioned, so we can get the matching orbs. And that will just help make sure that we can get through that orb barrier that he has there. Use the Garp to get rid of the increased defense there. And we do that through the Kuruma special, so just a quick note there. Garp himself doesn't remove the defense down, it's the support that's attached to the Garp that does that. So you do need that support unit on there. You can see in this case I didn't use the Sabo Captain or Friend Captain special on stage 2, and I had more than enough damage to do it. But again, like I said, if you wanted to, you're more than welcome to use one of those Sabos on stage 2 just to do some more damage. I don't think we'll need it based on what we're seeing so far, but if you need to, it's there. So go ahead and just use all the specials that we have here. Again, the Koala will help take care of that resilience, which makes the Mihawk support on the Nami Carrot unit really not needed at all, but still, it's good to have it just so it's there. So you can see we got through the intrusion pretty quickly. So while we're just going through the map, just some notes so far on this TM. So it seems like not that many people are actually in the TM so far. You can see that we're 744 and we're top 20%. So, you know, roughly that means there's about 3,500 total people who have started in the New World League, which is the league that I'm currently in. So a little bit less than usual. Usually you like to see it around 5K typically by the end of the event. So that's why when you're 745, you would think that you would be much higher percentage ranking, but being only 20%, that tells me that a lot of people probably haven't started this TM yet. Hopefully just because they're busy and not because they aren't playing anymore or don't care about the mode, but that's just an interesting note that, you know, almost 12 hours into the event, only about 3,500 people have started the New World. So again, for this fight, we're going to go ahead and use the Kuma and Jinny unit here. They're going to help get rid of the Despair on the top row. And then we just use everyone else's specials and attack. Nice and easy to get through. No real issues here. Again, if you want to have wave clearers, you could replace the Carrot unit at the bottom there, or even the Luffy Lucci unit at the bottom there. With any wave clearing units, and that will just kind of get you through these couple stages a little bit quicker if you don't want to have to manually tap and kill all these guys individually one at a time like you see me doing. Alright, so on the final stage here, we're just going to go ahead and use the two specials there just to make sure to get rid of all the Despair. As I mentioned, you want to use the Ivankov special left, that way you can get the G slots in the middle positions to help break that barrier and just make your run a lot easier. Luckily for us too, we can technically hit with the Carrot unit first with the special. It allows the normal attacks to go through barriers, so I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to attack with her first, and then with everyone else from there just to make sure that, yeah. See, if you face this boss on the regular map, you can just one tap with Carrot and get through it, but if you ever face this boss not on the mini-map, like I said, you could just attack in that order of Carrot, Green Bull, and then Ivankov, and then everyone else, and you'll have more than enough damage to kind of get through it. Love to see when we get gold chests. Unfortunately, we already have 3 4s, so that part is a little bit disappointing. But the fact that we got some more meat stamina to recover is awesome. We'll definitely take that. That means that we don't have to waste a gem on this video to get it out. We can finish it as it is. All right. Yeah, we'll just replace one of our 4s. We already have 3 4s total, so I guess having 2 and 2 is not the end of the world there. So it'll just help, especially if you have, for example, that map when you have either a 2 or a 5 to get the bird. Having a 4 or a 1 can just really help minimize the total amount of spins you'll have to do or stamina you'll have to waste to get those points. So for this battle, nothing kind of too crazy. We're just using, like I said, the Mihawk and the Boa special, and that's more than enough to get through this. This team will last to the end, not any worries here, and is both free-to-play friendly as too, which is awesome. We love to see that. Alright, so against Doffy, like I said, we'll just use one of the Mihawks first. You could technically do the swap if you really wanted to, but this is going to be more than enough damage where we don't even have to worry about it. So just save some time on this run. I'm not going to bother doing that. You can see one tap, more than enough damage to get through. Alright, and for the final battle with the Crocodile and Miss Sunday, again, we're going to use Saturn as our captain. So when we use the two specials, we're able to just do an Unga Boonga amount of damage. We do have Roger Gaban on this team too. They can technically get rid of Special Bind as well, but because we have Garland, they are kind of made redundant. But they're still a booster, so we have them on the team just to help us out. Alright, going into the final stage, it doesn't matter the order of special, so we're just going to go ahead and use the Garland first, just so we can get all the special bind removed from everyone. Then we'll go ahead and use everyone else's special. I'll start from the bottom and kind of go counterclockwise, just to finish off with the two Saturn specials. And you can see with the super types and everything else, we have more than enough damage to actually just decimate them. He has a rush too, so you can tell, like, I didn't even do one tap, and you can see how much damage we did. So yeah, this team will 100% last until the end, no worries there. And that's the 4 mini-bosses and the Intrusion Boss, so now let's get to the boss fight itself. Alright, so again, shout out to Bellagio helping me twice out here. That's awesome. Love to see that. Alright, so on stage 2 versus Marco, this is where you have to deal with the hunger. We have the recovery orbs anyway, so we actually don't even need the Nami and Karina to help with that. But still, their Super Switch will give him a recovery orb anyway, in case you have bad orb luck. We can go ahead and use their special to get rid of the special bond on everyone else. Use one of the Sabo specials to get rid of the attack down. And then at that point, it's just kill. Now for this team, we don't satisfy the condition of having 4 of the Revolution Army members on this team, so unfortunately we don't get a lot of the chain buffs that are there, but you completely don't need it. So for this final stage, the Boa will help remove the bind, she'll help remove the Rainbow Shield and the defense up. Garp can go ahead and help to remove the damage threshold, and then we just have to use the Sabo, and then the Koala, and then we're off to the races in terms of total damage. Again, this team should last to the end. I don't foresee any issues going too far with this team. And it will just, allow us to get almost a 20-time multiplier and kind of get through the content pretty quick. So you can see, just with what we did there, we're slowly approaching 4 million, and you can see not many people have started playing yet. So that's going to wrap up this video today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. These are my teams that I used for this TM run. Like I said, obviously, if you had the full batch, it makes this a lot easier. But actually, surprisingly, if you didn't have the full batch, I don't think that this TM was bad. Granted, you could build Revolutionary Army characters to satisfy the conditions of Sabo. So that's the good news, and there were a lot of supports, for example, the Mihawk that you saw in there that could help get rid of the resilience, so Koala wasn't fully needed there. She just kind of helped just do a lot more damage in some of those cases. But that's going to wrap it up for me. Let me know how your treasure map is going. Did you pull on the treasure map Sugo? Were you lucky and got some of the units? Love to hear from you guys. As always, until next time, be kind to each other. Thanks.